When the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel opened its doors for the first time on May 15th, 1927, no one knew what tales would unfold behind its walls. With numerous celebrities in attendance, including Charlie Chaplin and Gloria Swanson, it certainly was something to behold. But the champagne corks and flashing lights would soon fade away, to leave the spirits of many stars left wandering the hallways and rooms of this historic hotel. Welcome, dissectors, to another haunted location. If you're new to my channel, hello! And if you enjoy this video, please don't forget to like and hit subscribe to help a girl out. Today we are dissecting the ghosts and history of a place that is steeped in glamour and heartbreak. From the spirit of the beautiful and talented Marilyn Monroe to the heartbroken actor Montgomery Clift, this hotel has seen it all. At the time of the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel's construction, this 12-story luxurious property cost $2.5 million to complete. That is over $43 million by today's standards. Named after President Theodore Roosevelt, it was designed to enthrall the rich and powerful, and for many years it did just that. In 1929, it was the venue for the first ever Academy Awards, which back then was called the Merit Awards, said to have been the shortest Oscar event ever, only lasting about 5 minutes. The Academy would use the hotel until 1935 for its meetings. But when the 1950s came about, the hotel started to decline in popularity, with many parts of the property having to be demolished. By the 1980s, it was nearly torn down, but thanks to the help of the Radisson hotels, they injected $35 million to restore the property back to its former glory. But it seems that when the hustle and bustle of construction started, many ghostly spirits that had chosen to linger here were awoken, and the sightings began. From haunted mirrors, rooms, hallways and ballrooms, the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel awoke and began to make even the most cynical people believe that something was in the shadows watching them. So who has visited and who decided to stay? Well, let's begin with the legend herself, Marilyn Monroe. In life, she struggled terribly from various forms of abuse which led to mental health issues. Being in the limelight certainly didn't help, as sure, she finally got the love she craved, but the press was also quick to criticise and pull her life apart for its own amusement. In a time where mental health was frowned upon and very little understood, she never got the support that she needed and instead turned to drugs, alcohol and sex as a way to chase away her demons. For 2 years, Marilyn lived at the hotel during the 1940s. Her first professional modelling job was for a sun lotion and was photographed around the hotel's pool. It seems she was content in her time here, so could be a reason her ghost has been witnessed by plenty of guests and staff over the years. Not only has her spirit been witnessed dancing in the Blossom Ballroom and been seen around other areas of the hotel, she has also been seen checking herself out in a full-length mirror which used to be in her room. After the mirror was moved to the hallway, the sightings became so frequent that staff became concerned that she might scare guests away and were forced to move it. Her hotel room number 1200 has now been renamed the Marilyns Suite. This 750 square foot suite is now one of the most requested rooms in the hotel. I know many people would be scared of seeing her reflection, but I think it'd be fascinating, like capturing a moment trapped in time. What do you think? Would seeing Marilyn in the mirror scare you or intrigue you? Let me know in the comments below. But it would seem that it was not only Marilyn that enjoyed hanging out in the Blossom Ballroom. There are said to be 2 male spirits seen in this area also. One of these is thought to be an actor from the 1920s who might possibly be reliving his glory days. Dressed to impress in his tuxedo, psychics believe he was a nominee who also attended the Oscar banquet after. The other male spirit still loved to entertain. While exploring the mezzanine area, guests heard piano playing from the ballroom. But when they checked out who the talented artist was, they saw a man wearing a white tuxedo sitting at the stool playing, who suddenly disappeared before their eyes. Maybe he got a little shy around his audience. The talented, handsome actor Montgomery Clift was riding high in his career with 3 Academy Award nominations. He stayed in room 928 for 3 months while he was filming the 1952 movie From Here to Eternity. It is said that he found his time at the hotel to be the best moments in his life. But everything fell apart in 1958 after a serious car accident left him with scars that tore away his confidence, resulting in him turning to alcohol and drugs to numb the pain. His spirit has been seen on many occasions wandering along the 9th floor of the hotel and his old room. Guests who have stayed here have experienced terrifying things, including the sensation of being unable to move while lying on the bed, or being watched from the corner of the room. Some visitors have even heard him on windy evenings playing his trumpet. One horrified guest was reading in bed when she suddenly felt a hand patting her shoulder. Assuming her husband wanted her attention, she turned to him, only to find he was asleep beside her. It would appear that Montgomery wanted her attention, but why? Does he have secrets to share? Peter James, a psychic who has visited the hotel and spent the night in room 928, was not scared by his experience, it had seemed. One evening he found Montgomery sitting in a chair in a corner of the room, staring out of the window. For several minutes, Peter watched him until slowly his spirit faded away. But it is not just guests who have seen his ghost. Maids have often mentioned feeling him brush past them like a cold rush of air while they've been cleaning the area, and sense his presence walk along the hallways. It seems that Montgomery wanted to stay in the one place that he'd felt truly happy in his life, especially after the heartbreaking end. But not all ghosts that lurk here are celebrities. One young spirit is said to travel around many areas of the hotel, and she is called Caroline and was just 5 years old when she died. She was first seen in the Academy Room in 1992 by Peter James, but she didn't communicate with him until he visited the penthouse library. She was found crying and worried about her mother getting hurt. Sadly though, when the psychic tried to comfort her, she disappeared. Thankfully, Caroline doesn't always seem to be upset, as other guests and employees have seen her full-bodied apparition playing, skipping and singing around the hotel. Her spirit is said to be so solid in form that one receptionist thought she was alive and described her as wearing a pink jacket and jeans, until she suddenly vanished. Guests have also reported spirits locking them out of their rooms and the sound of stomping feet trudging down the hallways. But one unusual place that spirits have been seen was even caught on CCTV. One evening, when the security personnel had settled themselves in for what they believed to be a regular shift, people were seen swimming in the pool on the cameras. Now, no one was meant to be there as the area had closed for the evening, so they ran to investigate, and when they arrived, they were met with nothing but calm, still water and not a person in sight. Creepy as hell, if you ask me. This is a fascinating place to visit, and not just for the ghosts that still call it home. So here are a couple of interesting tidbits for you. A young Shirley Temple took her first tap dancing lessons on the hotel staircase, taught by actor, singer and tap dancer Bill Robinson, who was the highest paid African American entertainer in the early 20th century. English actor David Niven was so broke when he first tried to break into the movie industry that a hotel clerk allowed him to stay in a small room at the hotel for free. By 1958, David had won an Academy Award for Best Actor in the movie Separate Tables. Nowadays, the hotel has all the modern perks, with many luxurious additions, including a multi-million-dollar painting at the bottom of the Tropicana pool by David Hockney, considered by many to be a masterpiece. If you fancy staying in Marilyns Suite, prices start at $800 per night, but the fabulous Clark Gable and Carol Lombard Suite, a place that these two lovebirds would meet up and cost only $5 per night to hire out then, now will cost you $6,000 per night. Said to have amazing views of the Hollywood Hills and a spacious 1,200 square feet. Some might find this price affordable, but not so much myself. If you're wanting to experience the luxury of this hotel without selling an organ, room rates start at $319 per night, but be prepared to have your dazzling smile at the ready, as you never know who you might see if you stay at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel.